This is an emergency. This is an emergency. Another home sells for 1 million over asking price. Let's take a look and see what's going on here.
Records for years, and COVID did nothing to change that. In fact, they're selling faster now than they were before the pandemic. Not only are they selling in record time, but almost always above asking price. For example, this Mountain View home sold in 6 days for $1 million over its asking price.
That's probably a little bit of an extreme, but it's not really.
I know, Jeff. We made a deal together about a little over a year ago, maybe 2 years ago now.
3, 4, 500,000, 800,000 over.
The 4,300 square foot home in Mountain View's Waverly Park neighborhood was listed at $4.5 million. And admittedly, is not a starter home. It includes a main house and a guest house with a total of 7 bedrooms between the two. San Mateo County real estate broker Jeff Lamont was not the agent who sold that home, but says it's an example of the Bay Area's hyper-competitive real estate market. A longtime resident of that same Mountain View neighborhood says it's great news for home sellers.
We can kind of cut it there. So anytime I listen to this, my wife shared it, and a lot of my clients share this to me, and a lot of people may be giving up when they first see this information, right? Mountain View home sells for 1 million over asking price. How many times do we hear this over and over again? So I wanted to do a deep dive so you can see for yourself, hey, look, was this actually a very expensive purchase? If you had the money, of course, or actually were there other ones that were actually worse, but it didn't catch these kind of headline articles? So I took a look at this one. This is a 4,300 square foot home in Mountain View, which is a very rare find. There is very few homes that big in Mountain View. So by nature, it is very unique. This home is the one listed here, 593 Sleeper Avenue, Mountain View. Sold for 5,477, sold a couple of weeks ago. So it's a little bit old as well. Now it's a beautiful looking home, without a doubt. I mean, this is a gorgeous looking home. I mean, completely open, fully renovated, super nice. What it also actually has, which it wasn't reported, is actually has an accessory dwelling unit. So it has a 700 square foot ADU that is also not counted in that 4,300 square foot home. So it's a beautiful looking home. I mean, there's nothing, certainly nothing wrong with the home. It's as nice as you'll get in the area. So whenever I see these things, and I always tell my clients this, you got to be careful of these clickbait headline articles, just like my clickbait headline article that may have got your attention. Because at the end of the day, you got to take a look at the data. You got to unveil the curtains, see what in the world is going on. So what I want to do is let me share with you what has sold in the last, let's see, as you can see, this is just all of this year. Now, there is no doubt prices have increased. This is for single family homes, only Mountain View. And I actually made it within a 1 mile radius of this home in Mountain View so that you can see for yourself, what did other homes sell for? As you can see here, there's one on the market for 4,100 square feet, but it's not nearly as nice. There's a couple other things about it as well. But take a look at yourself. See what other homes have sold for as well. You can see 3568 Cambridge Lane, 4.1 million. And this was only a 2,758 square foot home, 8,000 square foot lot. Take a look at this one, 3371 Shady Spring Lane, 3.99 million, 3,300 square foot. Another one, 405 Chesley Avenue, sold for 3,885, 3,300 square foot. Take a look at Sleeper again. As I mentioned, has a 4,365 square foot house, 700 square foot in-law unit. So the total of about 5,000 square feet. So I'm going to ask you this, irrespective of list price, because at the end of the day, the list price, anybody can put it for whatever they want. One day, I'm going to put a house, I'm going to put it on the market for $1, and I'm going to sell it for $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. So there's one day I'll break all headline articles. You wonder why there wasn't more of that, but for whatever reason, there isn't. But without further ado here, let's take a look at this. You tell me, if you had the money, like these individuals do, if you had the money and you had 4 million, 5 million, 5.5 million, what is a better deal actually? Which one would you feel better for? Would you buy this house like this one, for example? Let's take a look at 3568 Cambridge Lane. It's nothing special. Like the other one is a very nice looking house. There's nothing wrong with this house. It's a clean house. It's nice condition. But the other one is like really almost like it seems like a brand new house altogether, and that has an ADU. But look at this. I mean, this one It's a 2758 square foot sold for 4.1 million. You tell me, like, would you pay, what is that? 1.4. So if you do the math, 1.4 of that is about 20 something percent more for a house for basically nearly double the house size? The answer is actually, I would argue the 3568 Cambridge Lane maybe should have caught more headlines because that probably is the biggest differentiator, not this one that actually caught the actual price. If someone was looking at this figure and they look at this number as well, and they look at Cambridge Lane and they saw this one sell for 4.1, yeah, 5.5 is a lot. But then again, this is the biggest house that has even sold in this part of Mountain, at least within the mile, that there is. I mean, there is no other house. I mean, like I said, there's one on the market right now, but this one, as you can see, the condition isn't the same. It's not as nice. Doesn't have the in-law unit set up as well. So, but you can see there's not a lot of options for that family that wanted a really big space, along with the in-law unit, which is also fairly rare. So when I look at these numbers, look at any of these numbers, 4.1 for a 2758, almost 4 million for 3384. That's basically still 1,700 square foot off. It's actually not. I mean, I'm going to be very PC here. It's not that crazy when you look at these numbers, and that's why I want to always do this, is so that you can visually see for yourself. Now, if everything else was like way less, or the price per square foot is the same as that size, that's when it's crazy. But it's nowhere like that. When you look at these numbers, especially look at this one, which other people will look at. If someone spent $4.1 million for a 2758 square foot house on a smaller lot, the house is not even as nice, someone would be happy to pay 1.4 more for, like I said, almost double that size. So that's something I want you guys to take care of. Always be sure to understand and reach out to your realtor. Hopefully I'll be able to help you to be able to answer these questions, because these clickbait articles are funny. That's why I got you probably of tuning into this video. But I wanted to, I'm going to do a lot of these as well. I'm going to call this like the emergency sessions. Whenever I see these things or people want to send it to me, send an email to me. I can do an emergency pod. I got that from Jason with his All In podcast. I think the emergency podcast is super funny. So that's what I wanted to do for you guys when it comes to Bay Area real estate. Any sort of these crazy articles to catch eyeballs and get people kind of worried, I'm going to look through the data so that you can do the analysis yourself. All right. I'll see you at the next episode. Bye now.